Good morning, my name is Krzysztof Żebrowski and I am the Business Development Manager in the Product Development Department. I would like to tell you how our plywood performs in roof formwork applications. This solution combines high strength, resistance to moisture and fire, while also ensuring care for both human health and the environment. For roofs, we particularly recommend 3 products. ThickPly is a heavy-duty structural plywood. DryGard is a waterproof plywood with a hydrophobic coating that protects against moisture and mold. And finally, DryGard FR is the fire-retardant version. With the highest fire reaction classification BS1 D0 compliant with EN 13501-1, it is an ideal solution, for example, as a substrate for photovoltaic panels. Each of these plywood types is available in sheet sizes of 2440 by 1220 mm, 2500 by 1250 mm, and the most recommended format for roof sheathing applications, 2500 by 620 mm, offered with either straight edges or tongue and groove joints. Thanks to the high mechanical strength of the plywood, thinner panels can be used compared to other traditional materials while still meeting all structural performance requirements. For example, 12 mm ThickPly can replace a 15 mm panel made of another material, and 18 mm ThickPly can easily substitute even a 22 mm wood-based board. When selecting the panel thickness, we take into account the roof load and the spacing of the rafters. If the rafter spacing is 600 mm, a 10 mm plywood panel is sufficient. For a spacing of 800 mm, a 12 mm panel is required, and for 1000 mm, a 15 mm plywood panel should be used. By comparison, other standard materials used under the same conditions need to be considerably thicker, even up to 22 mm. Installation begins at the bottom edge of the roof, starting from the eaves. The panels should always be laid with their long edge perpendicular to the rafters, and every short edge must rest on a support. It is also important to leave expansion gaps, 1 to 2 mm between the long edges and 2 to 3 mm between the short edges. If the panel has tongue and groove edges, the expansion gap is already provided by design. Subsequent rows of panels should be laid in a staggered pattern with offset joints. All short edge joints must rest directly on a support structure. This ensures that the structure remains rigid and durable. When fastening the panels, always follow health and safety guidelines. Working on a roof is inherently hazardous. Fortunately, our plywood panels have non-slip surfaces, making them safer and easier to walk on. The installer should always stand on a support, preferably facing the roof edge. The fastener length should be at least 2.5 times the panel thickness with a minimum of 50 mm. Along the panel edges, fasteners should be spaced every 15 cm, while within the panel field, spacing can be increased to 30 cm. At the roof edges and eaves, the fastening should be tightened to a spacing of 10 cm for increased stability.
Na krawędziach skrajnych dachu I na okapie zagęszczamy mocowanie nawet do 10 cm.
It is also important to remember that black drywall screws are not suitable for plywood. They can break or corrode. The roof sheathing fastening system should also be specified in the structural design documentation, and all installation guidelines provided therein must be strictly followed. When installing roof sheathing, the roof slope must always be properly ventilated, and the ventilation openings should account for at least 1/150 of the attic's total surface area. DryGard also performs exceptionally well in flat and green roofs, where it serves as part of the load-bearing structure supporting vegetation layers. Thanks to its excellent mechanical strength parameters, it is also suitable for balcony and terrace applications. Our plywood products represent not only strength and safety, but much more. They are also an environmentally friendly solution. DryGard features a coating compliant with the PNEN 927-5 standard, providing protection against moisture and mold. It also contains 40 to 60% bio-based components, making it one of the most sustainable materials available on the market. All our products meet the E1 formaldehyde emission class, are available with FSC or PEFC certification, and come with an Environmental Product Declaration EPD demonstrating their low carbon footprint. In summary, our roofing plywood is lighter and stronger than other commonly used materials. They are resistant to moisture, mold and fire, easy to install, and certified for health and environmental safety. It is a modern solution for roofs covered with metal sheets, bitumen, shingles, or, in the case of flat roofs, various types of membrane systems. We especially recommend our FR plywood, which enhances fire resistance, thereby increasing the safety of your roof and your entire home. Thank you for your attention. We invite you to explore our guide to wooden construction.